I have no idea how to tell this story. I don't even know how to start it. This is the story of my senior year of high school and how it destroyed my life.
Your father and I want to talk to you about something sad. Rachel Kushner has been diagnosed with leukemia.
That sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks quite a bit.
You might be someone who could make Rachel feel better.
I don't need your stupid pity.
I'm not here because I pity you. I'm actually here just my mom is making me.
It's actually worse.
So congratulations on the film. It's obviously done great so far, and it's affected a lot of people, myself included. I'm wondering if when you were making this, when you started it, or at any point, did you realize exactly what you were doing, that it was going to be this this really funny, charming, sad, tragic, powerful film?
I mean, we wanted it to be all of those things. When I read the script, it's kind of separated itself from a lot of coming of age scripts that I had read.
Yeah.
It subverted the romance aspect, which I thought was really interesting. And
Yeah, no one's doing anything in order to get it in.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's about this kind of respectful sort of love and this deep, deep friendship, and just the honesty of the characters was what I really, really responded to. And I knew it was going to be. It felt special when we were making it, but you can't expect anything,
Because also people always say that, oh, if you're having a really bad time in a movie, it means it'll be great. But we had the best time ever, so I was like, oh, maybe it'll be shit. Who knows?
Wow, I never heard that. If you have
Really?
a bad time,
Yeah, like
it's gonna
usually
be
when you've
good.
had a really bad time on set, it turns
found the
out really
opposite.
well.
So was it not? So I mean, when you're doing these tragic scenes, do you stop these? Do you just remove yourself? Are you in your characters throughout, or are you kind of leaving maybe the more sad things, in front of the camera, and then you guys are maybe more lighthearted away from it?
Well, when you're doing those emotional scenes, they definitely stay with you, and you kind of heavy. You feel heavier for the rest of the day. But for the most part, it was a really loving, fun, comfortable, creative set. The most creative set I've ever been a part of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, there were times where it was very kind of somber, and everyone was very respectful
Yeah.
of the kind of places that we had to go for it. But it was not depressing to be there at all.
Do you? In what ways do you prepare for like each of your roles with respect to the emotional part of it? Because it feels like this is like it's a common thing that everybody can sort of relate to. Everyone would know somebody in the situation, but everyone would deal with it differently. I guess Olivia, to you first. Like, how do you approach putting yourself in that situation?
Well, I didn't want it to ever come across as false. I mean, I am a faker by default. Like, I play pretend for a living. But I didn't want anyone to be taken out of the movie by something that I was doing. So, like, deciding to shave the head was a big thing because bald caps look ridiculous. You can always tell when someone's wearing a bald cap, and that was the best thing I did because there's a scene in the movie where I've lost my hair. And I tell Greg that I feel so ugly, and I did. It felt very honest and real, and that it's such a personal. Everyone can relate to it. It's such a personal experience, and I just didn't want anyone to find a false note in my performance. It really terrified me.
And gentlemen, was there a certain way in which you prepared? Was it more introspective, or did you seek out people?
I mean,
counsel?
well, the way I thought of it was like Greg just kind of approaches everything from a lighthearted place and just sort of tries to keep all this sadness at bay, or at least as long as he can. And I related to that. It's kind of the way that I would have dealt with a situation like this when I was in high school. You don't really. It's too abstract of a feeling to comprehend. So you don't see it as this beautiful, poignant moment. It's confusing and weird, and it's awkward to watch him try to deal with it, which is where a lot of the comedy comes from, I think. So I just kind of approached it from that standpoint and let the sad stuff sort of sneak up on me the way that it did on Greg.
Yeah, with me it was it really, I get ready for like the emotional things with help of Alfonso, because I'm not really an emotional person, but really the character of Earl is just it's so close to who RJ is, that, and so that was easy of getting to those type of emotions or whatever. I'm always like extra and happy. You can ask them. I'm like always. I'm a little skittle.
He's very positive.
But Earl is more cut, dry, to the point, and so it was really just trying to figure out how to discipline myself and take notes from Alfonso and just pay attention to what was happening at the time, and just really focus on just calming down.
Mm-hmm. And as I understand it, some of the scenes maybe you guys didn't rehearse or you didn't want to kind of have too much practice. Can you talk about his approach to kind of directing you guys and letting you maybe do what you'd like?
Yeah, I mean, it varied by scene because sometimes he'd have a very specific way he wanted to shoot it, and it was sort of like choreographing a dance, you know, and you'd have to sort of work with the camera. But then
it's like a
other stuff, there's one particular scene where the camera's very still. It just sits in one place and it goes on. It's one take for like 5 minutes or so. And we had been doing that scene since our first audition together, and it was so ingrained in us that we didn't want to. There's no need to rehearse it. It was like, let's just shoot it immediately, and it ended up being one of the quickest scenes we shot, and it's the scene that probably I'm the most proud of in the film.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one of the.
Just wanted to lay it all out there in the first few takes.
Yeah.
One of the later scenes, I guess, was the first scene that you guys shot together, which is, if I'm not mistaken, when you're outside eating ice cream.
Yeah.
Was that the first time?
That was the first scene we shot in the whole movie.
That was the first day. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a pre-production day, like a pre-shoot thing, just to like check it, because we may have reshot it if it didn't.
I think Alfonso thought it was like a practice for us, like a warm up.
Yeah, but it turned out
ended up being great.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the funnier ones too, because you guys are kind of loopy at the time.
Yeah.
Really?
So was that's the first time the three of you were working together? And just kind of. So what was that like? The moment? Because I mean, you make the film.
I was like,
so
okay,
get along.
Yeah. Well, I have the part now. Like, this is great.
I was like, okay,
now I have to deliver. Yeah.
No, it already felt. I don't know. I don't remember feeling uncomfortable. I already felt so comfortable with you guys. I think we'd already really bonded by that point anyway, because I think we had like a week of pre-production before that.
Yeah, I think we were just really excited.
We were really excited to get going.
You guys were making a movie for me.
We tried a bunch of stuff and it's not that good.
Now is not the time for your I'm Greg, I suck, nothing I do is any good thing.
We agreed to do a film that we have no idea what it should look like or even be. What was I thinking?
I'm so tired of you treating this girl like she a burden. Because somebody actually cares about you, her life is over after this.
Life can keep unfolding itself to you just as long as you pay attention to it.
It was the best of times. Worst of times.
It's so much harder than I thought it would be.
It was life.